Hello everybody, welcome to another one. Today for Switch It Up Sunday I want to talk about a game that was recommended to me from my friend Chris. Fantastic game. And that game is Away, Journey to the Unexpected. It is a pretty good game actually. I got it for about 29 cents, so I feel guilty that I got it for so cheap. As you can see from the title here, it is inspired from 90s anime. It's about a boy unnamed. He doesn't have a name. I'll name him Billy. And Billy's main weapon is a stick that he gets from his dog. And as you can see, there is a frog that lives in the toilet. There's some wacky characters. It's got a cross between a Earthbound with the wacky characters and also a dungeon crawler. It kind of reminds me of a Sega Genesis game that was called Shining in the Darkness. So it's got that kind of dungeon crawling aspect with wacky characters. Also kind of plays like Paper Mario, very 3D as you can see, but the battles and the characters in the world are 2D. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, the character, Billy we'll call him, his only weapon is a stick that he gets from his dog, and any other weapons he gets is only from the characters he takes with him, such as this drunk wizard, this old man here who's got fireballs. And Billy is the only one that's got health. The other characters have power. Once their power runs out, you can't use them anymore. So it's an interesting mix. So they're basically there are your extra weapons as the characters you can take with you. My only gripe with the game, I would say, is that it's short. You can beat it in about 4 to 6 hours. And you don't get to really use the characters as much as I would like, because they run out of power pretty fast, and some of the characters you just find really late in the game, so you can't really utilize them as much as you'd like to. But as you can see, it's really cool, especially like this as you look through the wizard's eyes, and you basically look through their eyes and see what they see. So he has broken glasses, as you can see, and that's what he sees, and so on. So as if you look through a robot's eyes, he looks different, and so on. Like here is this, which is a what do you call it, like a store that sells everything from healing up through the hamburgers. Firecrackers is your secondary weapon, so you can throw those. The cubes are basically a friendship cube is how you collect characters, and these are the characters you collect along the way, such as this, the lab worker. It's got an interesting story a little bit. It's got a story where it starts you off with a lab works, which is like demolishing the town, trying to take over, and it gets into a bigger plot. And you have to go through these little RPG elements of talking to the characters to try to convince them to join your party. Some characters are better than others, but it's still a very interesting game. It's a roguelike, light, very light. It does switch up the levels a little bit sometimes, but it doesn't really mix them up a lot. They still are very familiar. You still start off with the same weapons and so on, and the characters you collect all along the way are still the same places. It's just the dungeons are the roguelike elements where they're mixed up a little bit, but they still are very familiar. So it's a very light aspect. It does change it. I wish the game was a little longer. Like I said, I wish the games had a little bit more interesting levels design. The characters in the world is what makes it a fun game. I would still give this game a 7.5 out of 10, maybe higher than some people would have rated it as, but I found it enjoyable still for the character creation, the funny characters and the way they drew the graphics and stuff. It's got that Paper Mario kind of aspect to it, and I just found it pretty fun. So definitely a cool game. Like I said, it's not a perfect game. There's a lot of good ideas in here. If there was ever a sequel, hopefully they could really work on fixing those issues that people had with the game. Mainly it's just very short and it needs more level design and maybe some more roguelike elements to it. But overall, the characters in the world are very charming and very, very cool. Some of the characters you get to carry along with you. They are pretty cool. It's just that, like I said, the levels themselves need some more work. As you can see here, there's a giant spider. Spider looks pretty awesome. The bosses are over the top. When you get to boss battles, it reminds me of Mega Man. You go through these doors, then you fight your boss battle. And so it's got kind of a mix of genres of games. Like I said, it's a first-person sort of dungeon crawler with some Mega Man battles when you get to the end bosses, mixed with some Earthbound wacky characters, and maybe a little bit of Shining and Darkness in there, because I kind of get that feel from it for some reason. It just reminds me of Shining and Darkness in a way. And the graphics, like I said, are really nice, really well done, very colorful, very nice world. The level design could use just some better designs to make it less generic. But like I said, very fun game, and I'm glad that my friend Chris on Discord and other places, social media that I've known him from, he's the one that recommended it, and he recommended games in the past. And what I'll do is I'll put the Nintendo Discord link in the description, my bio, or in my description where it's at, my channel, which is Daily Nostalgia. I have also created a Discord for that, so I'll leave both of those so you can find me there, and also the other places, Twitter, Instagram, of course YouTube, for the videos you see here. So you can find me everywhere under the Handheld Gamer, and like I said, Discord's the only one. It's the Daily Nostalgia Show. But as you can see here, fantastic bunch of different characters. The little bat's kind of funny. I didn't use him yet, get a chance to. I do feel guilty that I paid 29 cents for it, because it's definitely worth more than that. It's not worth full price game, but it's still worth checking out. I think there's a lot of good ideas in here that could be ironed out in a future sequel, if they ever did one, or if they ever did another game. The team just do something with a little bit more emphasis on level design, and letting us get to use the characters, these cool characters, a little bit more. It's so short to get to use them that you don't get to really, they're fun to use, but you don't get to use them that much. If I'm going to rate this game, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, so pretty cool. Overall, I really liked it, really liked my experience. Very glad to my friend Chris for telling me about this game. When he tells me about games, they go into the backlog and I eventually get to them. And finally it came out and I got to it. So that's how we got to this review. Anyways, that is it for this episode. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and as always, have a good one. Take care everybody, until next time.